Hello class, my name is Malcolm Oluwafumulayo, the Creative Director of Agriculture. Today we want to talk about and look at how to draft flap, ladies flap, so stay with me. So first and first, I'm going to make a straight line in this direction. I'll be using 6 inches. 6 inches. I'm going to start with the front right flap. You know the center front has 2 flaps, so I'll be using 1/3, that is 6 inches by 1/3. Yes, and 1/3. One thing we should know is lady flap is not as long as the male flap. So I'm going to curve it at this angle by using 2 centimeter. So I'm going to curve it with my armhole curve. You can use your armhole curve for so many things. So like I said, center front right. So I'm going to do the same for the back. So I'm going to do the same for the other one, which is 6 inches. But this time around, I'm going to use 1/3. Reason being that part, like I said, the length, this is the center front left side. 6 inches is the length, and I use 1/3 for the width. So I'm going to measure 2 centimeter upward as well in this direction, then curve it. I'm going to curve it with my armhole curve, and like I said, the ladies flap is not as long as that of a male. So this is the center. This is the center front. You know the center front has the left and the right. So we are going to be cutting two of this, or you cut it on fold. You can cut it on fold, and you'll be cutting 2 of this as well, or you cut it on fold. Is either you cut it into 2 pieces or on fold. That is what I meant on fold is this side will be folded while this side will be in pieces. So I'm going to do that quickly now. Don't forget, you will need to add your seam allowance through in this direction. You had your seam allowance. You can use you can use quarter. If you're good with quarter, you can use quarter for it. So I have my cut out already. This is for the left side of the center front, and this is for the right side of the center front. As you can see, I have it on fold, because this is the part we are going to stitch to the legs, to the flap, one. And secondly, you will need to apply interfacing. You need to apply interfacing on one side of it, so it will retain the shape of the flap. It will retain the shape. So you apply interfacing. So I'll be using this as my trouser or my shorts. This is the right side and this is the left side. And now these markings you're seeing here are where I'm going to stop by the time I'm applying my flap. How do I mean? You know, if you remember, we used 6 inches. So now for my flap, I want it to stop at 4.5. Depends on how you want it. I just want to show you how to do a knit job. So the first thing is, this is 4.5. So I'm going to do same on the right side of it. I'm going to mark 4.5. I'm going to mark 4.5, which stops somewhere here. So at the end of the day, I'm going to take it to my machine, place it in this direction. You will need to notch so you will know where you stop. And of course, if you want, you can stop at 4. You can stop at 4. Depends on you. You can stop at 4. You can stop at 4. So I'm going to take it to my machine. Remember, I asked us to use a quarter, so I'm going to just mark my quarter out, take it to my machine and stitch. I'm going to stitch. The stitching is going to stop at where I marked. So I stopped at 4 and I'm notching. I'm going to clip it in this direction. So now, can you see, I'm going to take it to the machine and top stitch. So from what you can see, I have it top stitched and I iron this so it will lay flat. So I'm going to work on the second. So the first thing I'm going to do is to apply the zip on this side of the flap. I'm going to stop at 4 as well. Now I've used my stitches to secure the zip on the flap. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over in this direction, and stitch together with the main garment and stop at 4. So this is what it looks like. Now I'm going to clip it at 4. Now it's clipped, you can see. So the next thing I'm going to do is take it to my machine again and top stitch to secure the garments. With the zip. Now I've top stitched, I have it secured. So the next thing I'm going to do is to place the right on the left. To place the right on the left and stitch together. How do I mean? I'm going to place it in this direction. I'm going to secure it with my pin. I'll do this. Open it up in this way and secure it with my pin. Now that I've secured it with my pin, I'm going to turn it in this direction. You can see now I have the zip facing the right side of the center front. So I'm going to go to my machine and stitch on the side of it so the flap can be held down. Yeah. So this is done. You could be wondering, why is she using different colors? Yes, I'm using a construct color so you'll be able to see what I'm doing. So now that I have this done, all I need to do is to open it up by taking out the pins in this direction. Now you can see, though we are not done yet, you can see that it is held together. So the next thing we are going to do, you can see, the next thing we are going to do is to secure this part, to secure this lower part. And how do we do that? All you need to do is to stitch this together. Stitch this garment together first. Yes. So when you have it secured like I did, all you need to do is to open this up in this direction, secure this with pin, secure it with pin. Then this is when you're going to draw your flap shape. Depend how you want it. You draw your flap shape in this direction. Then you go on your machine to stitch it down. Now I have it secured. You can see I have it secured with my stitches, and you can see at the back. So all I need to do is to remove the pin, turn it this way, then I'm going to secure this side with my stitches. Then all this, we won't need it. You can make it smaller. So it won't harm the wearer. But first thing first, you need to secure this place. Now I have it secured. so I can freely reshape here. Then I will overlock it, as you can overlock it. So you can see. Now I'll quickly iron, then show us the final. So our fluff is finally ready. You can see I didn't cut this part because at the end of the day, when you want to cut it, you cut it out, and of course this side of the waistline will go into the band. So in order for us to see what I did, that's why. So you can see the flap is resting, and you can see the back. So I hope this tutorial has helped us in one way of the other. Kindly share and kindly subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much. I love you.